Alright, what's going on YouTube? Card Collector 2 coming at you here with another video. This one is going to be a PSA submission. So this video will probably end up being like 2 parts. They'll be completely separate videos. But I submitted some cards. Man, I'm trying to think when this order went in. This would have probably been mid-July. Mid-July is when it would have probably been sent in. Entered in late July. Just getting it back. But I sent some stuff with some other people, but this was just my portion of it, and about half of it was sports cards and half of it was my first Pokemon submission. Again, if you guys have been following along with me on Instagram, Twitter, or even YouTube for the last couple months, when I bought the shop, I started picking up some Pokemon stuff and learned fairly quickly about it through a couple of local guys who've been really helpful in the process, Brian and Justin, and ended up grading some of those Pokemon cards. So the first submission I did is actually back. So I'm going to do that in a separate video, just going to make it more towards Pokemon. I don't want to make a, 35-minute video that's got half Pokemon, half cards, because I don't know if people really care about the Pokemon as much as the sports cards. So I'll save you guys the trouble. If you don't really want to watch it, totally get it. I think Pokemon is an under-tapped market. I've been pretty open about that. And I think there's a lot of potential in there long-term, especially on high-grade stuff, especially on some of the original stuff, but I won't get into that in this video. I can definitely see I need to get a new mat here, so just noticed that looking on the camera. I was like, man, this thing is beat up. But yeah, without further ado, I'll just get right into it here. These aren't really in any order, other than probably the order they went in, but just kind of pulled them out in boxes once I separated them and just kind of left them in this order. So I did have 2 cards that didn't grade out. I'll be honest, I'm fairly confident now that one of these is actually trimmed, so these might end up going back in, but kind of disappointing when they don't get slabbed, but name of the game. All right, so this one was actually pretty cool. I thought this had a decent shot to 10, but I know this card's not easy to 10. Like my buddy Lico said the other day, he kind of mentioned that, he mentioned a good point, which is well taken, and I've heard that before, that on a lot of the older stuff like this, on some of these key cards, they don't really like to give out 10s, just, kind of keep the value high on the ones that are already out there, so not really, obviously you can never really prove that, but a 9's still cool for this card. So 89 score, Barry Sanders. Looks like it needs cleaned, but yeah, Sanders score, PSA 9. I actually have like 4 of this card actually. I own a 10, 2 9.5 PSA 10, 2 Beckett 9.5 10s, and now a PSA 9. So I wasn't trying to pick this card up in particular. I mean, this wasn't like the Sam Darnold Immaculate I was buying. Like, I wasn't intentionally buying it. I just happened to end up with 4 copies of it. So, Josh Allen, Prism, Green Pulsar Auto, which I believe is a retail exclusive. I'm pretty sure this is a retail auto, which is weird that I ended up with 4 of them, but nonetheless, Josh Allen 9. A couple cards back of my dude Sam Darnold. Prism, rookie, PSA 10. I sent in a couple of these, so there's the first one. I got actually 2 of them right here. Another one, PSA 10. I think that means I have 13 of these up to this point now, so hopefully these continue to go up. Here's a nice one. Christian Kirk, Red Wave Auto from Prism. It's out of 49. Which is weird because I think most of the Red Wave autos are higher numbered, like 149 or 199 for most people. So it's weird to see Kirk is so short printed because most of them are higher. But Red Wave Prism Rookie Auto. These have taken a hit, to say the least. Since when I sent them in, they were much higher for PSA 10 Baker Silvers from Select, but. Here's a premier level silver PSA 10. Still, like I've been telling people, I'm not the biggest Browns fan. I'm not a Browns fan at all. Obviously they're a local team, so I wouldn't mind them winning because I'm sure it helps cards locally. But the Browns have an easy schedule the last 8 games of the week, or last 8 games of the year. I think it's on paper right now the easiest in the NFL. I mean, if they go 6-2, 7-1, and make the playoffs, these will go back up on that run. You know, assuming Baker's playing. So, yeah. So I'm not going to give up on those quite yet because they do have an easy schedule here at the end of the year. So here's a select base rookie, the true rookie, PSA 10. And here's another one. I haven't had a whole lot of luck on Baker stuff. And I actually did pretty well on Baker in this order, which is different for me because, like I said, I've not had much luck on his stuff at all. It's been about 50-50 on 9s and 10s. So here's a premier level base. This is the non-silver version. Still good looking card. PSA 10. And then here's another one as a PSA 10. So overall did pretty well on Baker. I think that's all of them, but still pretty solid. Obviously, with what these are up to now, this would have been an awesome 10 return. But still good to have it back at this time because these are a lot of his optic stuff is on fire. Optic Aqua rookie of Deshaun Watson out of $2.99. So looks like it's got a little bit of edge wear up there, so that's probably one of the big reasons. It's off-centered pretty high top to bottom, or pretty well top to bottom. Obviously, this was before the news of Andrew Luck broke, I believe. Yes, it definitely was, because this is before the National I sent this in. So yeah, this is disappointing, but kind of the name of the game. Don't really need to say much about that card. This is kind of cool. I have a couple Quentin Nelson cards. I picked up one intentionally. I got the cracked dice auto right when it first came out. I loved it. Ended up grading it. Got a 9.5/10. It's actually one of the cards most people ask me about if I would move. I think just this dude's dominant. He's awesome. I get it. It's a lineman. It's not a quarterback. I totally get it. But I just think his stuff is a good buy. I mean, I think he's one of the best in the league. And he seems to be really popular. I mean, seems really collectible or collected. So not a bad guy to have a couple cards on. I don't think I'll keep this forever. It's not as cool as the cracked dice. But PSA 10 Black Velocity. I love the Black Velocity stuff from Optic. So pretty cool one there. Rosen. Have a bunch of Rosen stuff. As you guys know, I ended up getting a couple deals earlier this year with a bunch of Cardinals stuff. But that's out of 125. Optic Auto. A lot of these I didn't send into BGS because the auto grades aren't going to be great on them. But didn't really do me any favors on PSA either because of Black Velocity. Got a PSA 9. So out of 25. Good looking card though. Still big fan of the design right there. Right there. So not bad. Tricolor as a 10. Tricolor field level. 10 of 99. So good looking card. Obviously not a Cardinal anymore, but still pretty cool. This was definitely one I was happy with. Jordan, second year Fleer as a PSA 8. I think an 8's a fair grade on this card. It's not centered super well, but it's overall in pretty good shape. So I picked this up at the National for, I want to say, $40. Don't hold me to that. It's in my National highlight, like National pickups video, where I show all the stuff I picked up, and I think there's a price tag on it, so I could go back and check. But Luka Crusade. I think this dude is the future of the NBA. He's one of the, I mean, just a baller. So, I've had some cool stuff of Luka before, but this isn't anything special, just a Crusade rookie. This is from, which I believe is from, oh yeah, right there. Duh. It says Chronicles right on it. So Chronicles is a cool product, so not bad. Little PSA 10. One I was definitely hoping would 10, for sure. Just being a Tatum guy, I've posted my Tatum collection before. Really hoped this had a shot 10. Unfortunate, it did not, but still, 9's better than, 8 other grades, so could always be worse. But blue Tatum rookie out of 199 from Prism. Here's a dude I like this year. Be curious to see what they do since they have like Murray, Walker, and Kelton Johnson, and a couple other guys, I think. But 4 of 50, Lonnie Walker, Optic Dominator Auto, PSA 10. Kind of wish this one would grade. Again, I talked about it in some of my other PSA videos, but grading the superstar cards, like the refractors and numbered stuff of superstars. Steph Curry, good looking card. I mean, good picture too. This would have been a good card to have as a PSA 10. But it's at a 99 from Optic. A couple Prisms. I actually had a bunch of these like sitting around that I had in like a box. Because I was always buying Prism. Like I was actually on Prism like before it really blew up. Like I remember buying Karl Anthony Towns Prism Silvers for like $20. So I just always kept my Prism rookies because the base rookies never sold for anything. So I'd buy them and grade them, and I actually have quite a bit of this stuff to this day. But I was going through some stuff, and I was like looking at like what PSA 10s sell for, and I just, when I saw what they did, I was like, whoa, time to go through some of those rookie boxes and pull out some stuff, and that's kind of what led to these being submitted. So there's actually 2 of them, but 2 Kemba Walker Prism rookie PSA 10. So probably good timing on those with basketball starting and being in Boston now, but those actually do pretty decent. Same conversation with 2 Bradley Beals, same class, 12-13. So I don't know what these do now. I just knew that they were decent back then, and I'm sure basketball starting can't hurt, but 2 PSA 10 Bradley Beal Prisms. A couple of these got sent in as well. Luka PSA 10s actually gave one of these away in a previous contest. I think I own 2 more of these. I think I have 4 total. But Luka PSA 10 Prism Rookies. Good looking card. I love this card. I think it's just, I was a big fan of Prism basketball last year. I know some people weren't as big a fan of the design, but I like the design. I think it's clean. So be curious to see what it looks like this year. A lot of stuff happening. Giannis, Pink Ice again. Kind of like that conversation about vets. Probably not a big card as a 9. Probably not really worth a ton. Probably just one of those ones you just break even on, basically. But PSA 9, Giannis. I still think he's a good buy. I think he's going to do pretty well. Probably the one I wanted a PSA 10 the most. I love the Black Velocity set. I talk about it with the Nelson and the Rosen, but this is just a good looking set. Good looking picture of Giannis. I might crack this and retry this at some point. It's out of 39. This is 18-19 Donruss Optic. I think they're just good looking cards. So I might end up cracking that and resubbing that, hoping for a 10, but oh well. Giannis SP Authentic Rookie. Looks to be in good shape, so that's a 9. Bellinger, 9. I actually had a friend who in a separate order sent in like 7 of these, and every one of his got a 9. So not really surprised by the 9, just with the way they've been grading these apparently. But Bellinger Update Rookie as a 9. I actually picked this up. This was a deal that was picked up in the shop. There's a couple extra things of, I think they're in this order. There's a couple other cards of him in here, but Ornelius Purple at a 250 auto, PSA 10. Good looking card. Probably one to just hold for a little while. One of the 63 flash. See, I'm telling you, I don't think that 63 Willis is trimmed. But here's a Robinson as a 4. I actually think this card might be overgraded. The corners on this are pretty rough. But still, I'm happy with a 4. So, this was a card, I've talked about this before, if you follow me on Instagram especially. I got this in a deal. Again, I'm very open about the fact that baseball is the sport I know the least about out of the main 3, basketball, football, and baseball. And I got this in a deal, and it's basically a deal. I bought like 150 cards at $1 a piece. There's some good stuff in there, and this was one of them, and I knew nothing about it, right? Like, this isn't like something like I tricked somebody. I legitimately knew nothing about this card. And I was going through the deal one day, just kind of flipping through some stuff, seeing what I got, and I was like, oh, Trout Refractor, like, that's got to be decent. This is early year, because a lot of his rookie stuff's at 11 and 12. So I'm like, let me look this up, and I was amazed at what this card sells for, even as a 9. Obviously, a 10 would have been nice. It is off-centered left to right, but just kind of amazed at what this card brings for being an early year refractor. Second year, third year stuff seems to have been jumped in a lot of sports, especially of superstars, Brady, especially even Mahomes' second year prisms. If you look at Mahomes' second year prisms, like his base do like $10, his silvers do like $250 or $300. So it's kind of wild. Centering on this is obviously not great, but so I got a 9 still. Kuna, the next superstar in baseball, next Trout, I think. Here's a 10, only sent in 2, so not bad. Was able to get one of them to 10. Luciano, I know this guy's stuff was hot at one point earlier this year when he got called up. Obviously not following baseball as much, not sure how well it's doing, but still definitely can't hurt with a 10. This is a paper 10. And a couple more. Here's a chrome 10. Actually busted a bunch of Bowman this year, so I have a ton of this kind of stuff laying around that I haven't really sorted through. So ended up getting some of it out, but still have a lot more yet to go through. Here's another 10. Good looking card. And then last but not least, another 10. So 1 paper 10 and 3 chrome 10s on Luciano. Then had a blue out of 499 10. I would imagine these are not easy grades. Kind of with that blue border, it's probably easy to see white. So not surprised, or I'm a little surprised that this got a 10, just because I would imagine it's got to be a little tough, but it's in pretty good shape. So PSA 10. On a couple of these, I think this dude's going to be pretty good. I know a lot of people like him, but Wander Franco, Bowman Chrome, PSA 10. And then, like I mentioned earlier, a couple more of these guys. This guy, Ornelius. This is like a mega, mega box right there. At a 250, there's a purple PSA 10, and last but not least, a Bowman Chrome Mega Green out of 99 PSA 10. So, yeah, a lot of the baseball here I don't really know a ton about. So if there's a baseball guy in here you like, Luciano, Ornelius, a couple of these other guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts on them are. But if you don't know anything about the baseball, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the order. Again, not a crazy big order in terms of quantity, but I feel like quality was there. A lot of good grades. I know it was over 50% 10s. I would imagine, just based on what I saw, it's probably going to be 70% 10, 65% 10, which I'm okay with in most cases. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below. But for now, guys, that's all I got. Peace.